Good morning. I haven't had my coffee, but I woke up as I'm going through my chakras one at a time the um up the spine, right? I am seeing the weirdest shit. Last night, I don't want to call it weird. For me it's helpful. It is strange. Uh I saw some strange things, right? So I get up, make my coffee, you know how you're just kind of waking up and you fumble around and blah blah blah. Go outside and I'm yawning, and as soon as I catch how the sky looks to the right, I immediately you know it was hot pink. It was so hot pink. The phone isn't gonna do it justice, but it was so hot pink it made me you know not only that, I was just outside yesterday and I swear that this tree was not full of blooms. It's full of blooms. It's covering my porch and it just looked different. I've had one other instance where I've woke up and felt like it looked different, right? Like one time I was at my grandparents' house and they own a house on top of this mountain, like a secluded mountain. And I woke up one morning and I just looked outside and the lighting was so strange. I was like, it looks like Scotland, right? And that was my immediate thought. It looks like Scotland. I walked out this morning and I was like, this looks different. It looks like Connecticut. A damp, wet fall Connecticut day. In my dream, after running that frequency, they said something was mixed up with Yale and Duke. Duke is something that I was focused on or working on or something in 2017. I completely forgot that that college was part of the whatever, right? Totally forgot. And when I saw that in my sleep, that jogged my memory. And then I saw 3 people appear and they were like, you can see us. I was like, of course I can see you, right? This is what I said. I was like, of course I can see you. Yeah. And then it switched over. There was a little bit more to that, but I can't quite remember the detail. Then it switched over and I saw this I was in this house, but this house, it looked gothic-y. It had it had stonework. Yeah. The inside of it was massive and it was stonework. And there was water in it. All water. And it was the bluest water. There was a aquamarine, almost turquoise color. So I'm walking around in this it feels very undergroundish, right? But structured, right? It's not some random cave. It's not. This is something that is formed, structured the way that if you were structuring a house or whatever. But the girl that I was talking to, she said her and her sister had to buy that house back. So that was their house or something like that. And I've seen some recurring, like older, big gothic-y like houses in my dreams over the years, right? Uh, at the very end of it, I saw this like skeleton like lady, right? I have I had photos. It's the lady that's like I see in the sky in my sleep. I've seen this lady before. Like even though she's a skeleton, I've seen her before. uh and she was like, "What can you do with this? Or is this enough for you to work with?" Or something like that, right? And then I just kind of woke up because I was like, "Ugh." Right? Like, what the hell? But what stuck out was Duke. I don't think I ever like actually researched uh, the college itself, right? It was just something that like I observed come, you know, run through my mind in 2017. 2017 is whenever the eclipse happened and all of that madness, right? I was working for a Greek family then. The location that I was in, although it looked the way that it did, reminded me very much of another place, like New York, basically. But when I was working with the wilderness program in North Carolina, because they sent me to North Carolina, right? I saw in my sleep the night before I quit, like two things. I saw this skeleton face that was like white, completely white, and it was silent, but it was like, it was so weird. And then I saw this blonde headed lady woman in front of it, right? But before that, the location before I went to North Carolina was somewhere in the North Georgia mountains, somewhere in the Blue Ridge. Uh, I saw these. I was sitting at a long table with these people, and but they weren't people from this planet. My immediate thought in my sleep was in Nibiru, right? And their faces were kind of stretched, right? So imagine whenever I see this old like demon face syndrome thing, I'm like, oh, I've seen that before, right? Like, I told them, you're not supposed to interfere with like civilian whatever, right? Like, when I tell you that the face of one of them that I saw was the exact woman that showed up the next day to test one of these boys. They're testing their like intelligence, right? With like numbers and all this other shit. Right. I had to sit with him, with her. Like, it happened, so I'm not like super. It was something that I noted, right? It was something that I noted. I was like, I saw her last night in my sleep, and now here she is, right? So, anyways, yesterday, whenever I went out, I had this grand idea in my mind, right? I was like, this is a good way to section off things into separate whatever and bring something old back, right? I personally feel like people should appreciate their ancestry a little bit more, learn more about it, learn more about cultures and blah, 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 right? So I wanted that to go into my work or my business. And so I had everything at my fingertips, oddly enough, right? Like I went down this this aisle, and there just seemed to be everything at hand. There seemed to be little animal figurines that were carved from like India, which were so cool. And then your Asian stuff, and then even your British stuff. It was kind of crazy, yeah. And African stuff. I found an African, everything to make the African thing, yeah. An African wooden, like, statue or whatnot. And so I was going to grab it. I was. And then I put that stuff back because I was like, I just really don't want to deal with any of this, right? I don't. It just causes me like headache. You know, my intention could be good, but whatever I'm bringing, like, it's debatable, right? It's debatable. It's sort of one of those things where it like looks good. It's like this guy. I tell you, the most beautiful things are usually the most non-beautiful whenever you strip them back. That's why whenever people are like, "Oh, that's a blah, blah, blah," I'm like, you might want to like spend a little time dissecting that because chances are it's not what you think it is, right? So I put everything back, but I did grab one thing, and bring it home, and I'm gonna show you what it is. I totally forgot to like. This is real. This is real coral. The only thing I grabbed was the coral, right? It was the only thing. I grabbed this, right? I thought it was just like this, right? So I had an idea. I was gonna like line this with fabric on the inside, right? And then last night, as I was putting it up here next to my radiate positivity and my rocks and stuff, I discovered it flattens. So I thought, oh, how cool, right? But the coral was the only thing that I grabbed, right? I had, well, I had the things to make. I needed boxes, right? I needed boxes. I can't find boxes, right? This too has become a lost art, I guess. Uh, so I have, well, I have tools over there that need to be sold. Uh, but I may keep my little 4.5 inch compact circular saw. I may keep that because then I can cut the wood to make the boxes. Yeah. But how neat. Yeah. And then the fact that I was in a place last night in my sleep with water. Like, like it was made to be that way. It's supposed to be that way. I picked up royal blue satin fabric. This might have something to do. This might have something to do with it, yeah? It might. It might. It might. It might. Now that I'm like piecing it all together, yeah. It might. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you go shopping, when you go and pick things up, look at it like you're picking up ingredients, right? You don't have to be eating them. They are ingredients for something, right? In your sleep, you can translate that, or it will translate that if your frequency is proper. Yeah. And it does help to like keep track of it, right? Like, I've seen one thing running the red frequency. Noticed a feeling in the orange one, seeing something in the yellow one. Tonight, I think we moved to red, orange, yellow. Is it green? I think so. Yeah, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Oh no, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll run the green tonight, and that's the heart. So the yellow is I do. Ooh, the orange is I feel. No wonder I felt like lots of anxiety, yeah? Red is I am. And then green is I love. Blue is I speak. The next one is I see, and then I know. Okay. So yeah, that's what I saw in my sleep. Seems a little strange, but the gothic stuff doesn't like bother me. I very much feel gothic at heart, right? For sure. Yeah. So facts. I'm gonna drink my coffee, finish waking up, and start working on the stuff that I need to work on. Yeah.